Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Rockin' Pod is back. The annual celebration of rock returns to Nashville. This convention brings together the best rock stars, music podcasters, vinyl and memorabilia vendors, and rock fans from all corners of the globe. Special guests include Michael Sweet of Stryper, Brian Forsyth of Kix, Jason Beeler of Saigon Kick, Eerie Vaughn of Danzig, and members of Exodus, Roxy Blue, Every Mother's Nightmare, Kick Tracy, and more. Music podcasts from all over North America will be recording on-site all weekend. Special pre-party featuring the rock and roll residency, The Talisman, 8-Ball, and Lipstick Generation on Friday night. Rockin' Pod Expo on Saturday. Join us at the Nashville Airport Marriott August 9th and 10th for Rockin' Pod. Podcast registration and tickets and VIP packages available now at rockinpod.com.
Now go.
Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast. We are continuing our series on the pre-Rock and Pod 3 show in Nashville by having kind of a crossover thing with other podcasters. Tonight we have Peter Cerere on. Did I get that right? Cecere?
Well, nobody's ever said it right, so I forgive you. It's Cecere, but that's fine.
Cecere, okay.
I would have gotten it right because I'm a fucking genius.
That's what I hear.
I pronounce it Cecere too. I ain't gonna lie.
No, don't worry about
Cecere,
it.
I'm glad to know that because I think I've mentioned your name on the show incorrectly before.
That's fine.
I've heard it.
I just refer to him as "damn it," Peter. Damn it, Peter.
That's what my wife calls me too. That's weird.
But anyway,
now when he's in trouble, it's God damn it, Peter.
Exactly. Before we get into it, Peter, you want to let everybody know about your podcast and what you do, and we'll go from there.
Sure. So again, my name is Peter Cerere. I co-host the I Love It Loudcast with my co-host Vinny Folletti, who there's some urban legend going on now that Vinny doesn't actually exist. Since nobody's really actually seen a picture of him, he doesn't do any of the interviews with me, or he doesn't come to any of the events. So there's a little bit of mystery surrounding him, and I won't go any further. We'll leave it at that. But we are not a Kiss podcast, even though it sounds from the name. It's the I Love It Loudcast. We do love Kiss. We talk about Kiss quite a bit, but we talk about everything, kind of like you guys, everything in the world of rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. We post every couple weeks. We're on iTunes. You can find us on Facebook of our same name, the I Love It Loudcast. We are on Spotify, Podchaser. But yeah, we'd like you to check us out. We're kind of the fledgling. We're the JV to your varsity podcast. I mean, you guys have been around for a while. We're just about a year into it. And we were talking a little bit off air before we started, I think our content's pretty decent. The couple of the first episodes were a little cringeworthy audio wise, but I think we're getting better and our web is widening a little bit. And but I really, really appreciate you having me on and spreading the word of the I Love It Loudcast.
Not a problem at all. Like I said, it's going to be fun. Like I said, we're all going to be together here in a week from this Friday. Is that right?
Yeah,
that's correct.
A week from this Friday, we're all going to be in Nashville at the Rockin' Pod Expo 3, and it's going to be. Alan, you got a lot of information about that.
This is where I butt in and cut Dennis off.
I'm just going to let you go.
Well, they've got some raffle items coming up. They're going to be raffling some really cool stuff, including a David Ellefson signed bass, which was generously donated by Kiss FAQ's Julian Gill. Gibson's rep confirmed that they will be donating 2 guitars. Michael Sweet will be donating a bunch of stuff, including signed Stryper and solo vinyl and CDs.
Oh, cool.
Troy from Tesla is trying to get us a guitar signed by the whole band, and also there's going to be a museum area, and Michael Sweet is bringing his To Hell with the Devil jacket for display. So that's all I've really got for Rockin' Pod right now. Other than if you go to rockinpod.com, you'll get all your ticket information there. They still have the link if you don't want to go, but you want to help support the cause. There's a GoFundMe on there so that you can help cover some of those costs that they've got coming up.
Yeah, and again, I think he extended the time period. I think it's up till this Friday where you can go on and get the discounted room rate too at the Marriott.
Right, and it's actually a really good rate. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows what it costs to stay in Nashville. But it's really good rate, and it's going to be
$159, right? It's like
it's right around 150,
yeah,
159.
It's a great rate. Yeah.
And if you're going to be there that whole weekend, if you go down on we're going to go down on Friday night. I mean, they got a huge pre-party on Friday night. They got 8-Ball?
My boys in 8-Ball going to be up there first.
Right, and then was it Lipstick?
Does that start at 8?
I'm not
7
sure.
o'clock.
7.
8 your time.
Yeah, Lipstick is Greg Troyan's band, right?
Yes,
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it's going to be the Rock and Roll Residency is going to be there. Are they still going to do the Talisman too? I heard that name thrown out there. Same guys.
I think the
Rock and Roll
Talisman
Residency.
stuff they're doing at the Kiss Cruise pre-party maybe.
Okay, but they had that popped up at one point. But anyway,
It doesn't matter.
So it's going to go till about 11
there.
o'clock. So if you're going to be partying that night, you might as well stay the night. There at the I've been in that hotel. It's a very nice hotel.
What's cool too is if you stay at that hotel, you literally don't have to leave the grounds. And I don't know about you three, but I'm probably not going to go to bed till Sunday at about 3 a.m. and catch my flight, at about 6. So if anybody's planning on having any adult beverages, I will be more than happy to join you.
Oh, we'll be doing.
No, probably not. Probably won't be. No.
Bill, how come your nose is growing right now?
I'm pretty sure that hasn't happened in the past.
Exactly. But like I said, then the next day on Saturday, it will be the Rock and Roll, a Rock and Pod Expo. It'll be just a fun day. These things are just a lot of fun, and man, you're going to be. I mean, you're right next, and you're talking amongst, rock and roll royalty. Yeah. So just come on in, and they're it's very accessible. All the podcasters, a lot of great. If you're into vinyl, I think they're gonna have some clothing and all that.
Vinyl tables, yeah, be cool.
It's gonna be awesome.
Now, to add to this rock and roll royalty, on Saturday night after the expo is over, Dennis and I are both participating in the Rock and Pod Jam,
and Peter's
going to be there as well. However, Dennis and Alan are 50% of the Hounds, so
that's right.
You can't get any better rock and roll royalty than that.
That's
and
right.
you got to pick to hold up.
Boy, somebody's full of shit tonight.
So wait a second. 50% of the Hounds are going to be under the same woof. Boom.
Wow.
That was bad.
Wow.
I love you, Peter. That is so fucking funny.
Peter doesn't tell those corny jokes in his show. I listen to it all the time.
No.
Alan's always got this pun of the day on Facebook and shit like that.
I haven't done that pun of the day in a couple of years, dude.
You send me shit all the time. Do you have any of those picks next to you? I don't have. They're behind me. I'd have to grab.
I got a pick right here.
No. Our good ones. Hold on.
I got a good one right there. See
that? So Dennis ordered picks for the Hounds and hasn't given anybody in the band any picks.
Yeah.
No, Rod's got his.
Well, why did you ask if I've got one? You didn't give me one. You know I don't have
practice this week. We're going to practice next week.
No,
that's right. You didn't get it
every week.
No, I didn't get one. Bastard.
Anyway, they turned out right, and they actually
like an old married couple. These two.
You know what? They actually did both. He did both sides and didn't charge me extra.
Oh, that's very cool.
That is very nice because he took so long to get them. But anyway, but no, he did a good job, and they look really good. Actually, in their two color, they actually used the black and the red, so it's got a little shadow.
So you plan on throwing like hundreds of those out at your gigs, like Rick Nielsen does?
We don't have hundreds of them. So
not handfuls. Maybe one or two when I drop them or something. Maybe. The thing is, though, you know what? These are I get the .88. It's just like I get the Tolex ones. They're the same size or same thickness. They're actually 30 cents a piece. That's cheap. That's actually cheaper than buying.
Wow,
them.
with the color, they were 30 cents.
Yeah, 30 cents a piece.
Cheaper than what I got. Mine were more than that.
Because you got full color. See, I only got
I did. Yeah, I did.
So anyway,
that's okay. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
All right, exactly.
Well, I've got some rock news.
Oh,
cool. I got some stuff to show off too, and then we'll.
Yeah, I got some show off too.
That's right. Go with the rock news.
Loudwire.com reports that on August 30th, Tool will be releasing their new album called Fear Inoculum, and they also report that on August 2nd, all of the Tool records will be on all of the streaming services. So
wow.
if you're a Tool fan, that's a pretty big
13
deal.
13 years to put this album out, so yeah, it's not bad.
So if you're a Tool, you'll be available in.
How long did it take for Guns N' Roses to get Chinese Democracy out?
Good Lord.
And it was worth it.
Yeah, right.
It was worth it to Axl. That dude raked in the money for that.
That was like a roulette.
Sarcasm?
Yeah. That was terrible. It was bad.
All right. Well, I had a little extravaganza. So I want to share some stuff with you guys because you guys will think this is cool. So I was the president of the AHRA, which is the American Radiology Healthcare Administrators, is what AHRA stands for. But I was president. I changed to the past president on Wednesday. So they always get the president gift. So I got some cool shit I just want to share with you guys because the peeps, they know I'm a Kiss fan. I want to tell you a little story. So I took my Paul Stanley shoes. I was going to wear them in the last night because I had a dress-up night. The theme was Rockin' in the Rockies because it was in Denver. I might have picked the theme. I don't know. Probably. Anyway, so I dressed up. I had my Gene Simmons mask. I wore my pleather pants. Not Dennis's. I wore mine because I paid for them now.
He bought my pants.
Yeah.
Rodney says we have traveling pants now.
Yeah.
Bill, I got to ask a question.
Not anymore because they're my pants.
But no pictures from behind. Tell me those weren't assless leather pants. Please.
Yes, they were.
Oh, man.
They were actually
the public by not giving a picture of that.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. That was only for the ladies. Anyway, and they were gagging.
The only thing wider than Bill's hair is his ass.
Yeah, it's probably true. That's for sure. Anyway, so they always give the president gifts, to thank them for the year, whatever. So I got these Kiss socks, which are pretty cool. If you can see them,
yeah, those are awesome.
They're like dress socks.
Those look like Podcast Rock City socks to me.
Yeah, well, they say Kiss Army on them, so they're not Podcast Rock City. For God's sakes, I got this really cool card. Check this out. I've never seen this before.
Wow, that's really cool.
Look at the guitar. So I said Ace. That was wrong. Tommy's guitar's got a little "I Love AHRA" sticker on it. Can you see that?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Cool. And then when you open it up, it's got this big graphic thing.
Oh, that's nice.
That's sweet. Yeah.
It's really cool. So for those of you that are not viewing, get your ass on YouTube.
You're missing out.
You're missing out.
It's about the 12-minute mark.
They were cleaning out a closet at the office, and we used to have a silent auction. And so they found this in the closet, and they gave it to me. This is an autographed U2 plaque. And
wait. That was just sitting in a closet somewhere?
Yeah, because they put it in a silent auction, and they didn't sell it.
Ooh.
That's U2.
Hey, I don't give a shit. This thing's probably some U2 fan will pay money for this.
That's
like
true.
Big money. But anyway, it's really cool. So they got me that. And then they got me and I know it's like show and tell. I'm not like all about that shit, but this is kind of, you guys think this is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
This is cool.
Then they got me this because they know I'm a music buff, right? They got me my own gold record.
Oh, that's cool.
My gosh,
and my own gold record has my hits on it. So if you see that, those are the big achievements for me in AHRA. So
you showed up on time.
No. It's when I was on the design team, when I was on the board of directors, when I got my fellow, when I got the award for excellence, and when I was president. So cool shit on there.
That's pretty thoughtful. That's pretty cool.
And then they pull this out of the hat.
Oh boy!
You probably saw the pictures of this that I posted, which is a Epiphone.
Right.
But it is a Sunburst Epiphone, which is cool, but it's actually laser etched. This is not vinyl on there. It's actually laser etched into the guitar.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
And it says, to our AHRA president, to our 2018-2019 president AHRA, thanks for a rockin' year. And then I did what every good person would do. I had my board and the design team that ran the conference all sign it for me.
Well, that's cool as hell.
That's very cool.
And they got me a lightning bolt guitar.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Now you just need to learn to play the fucking thing.
Now I have to learn to play the thing. So I took down my Paul Stanley autographed guitar, and I have replaced it with my very own AHRA guitar.
That's cool.
Nice.
Okay.
How sweet.
Enough of that stuff. Then I went to Red Rocks to a concert in Colorado, which was cool as hell.
Is that as beautiful and sounds as great as everybody says?
Yes.
I'll post some pictures on Facebook. I'm telling you, it was, and Alan's been there. They literally had, so I went to see Tedeschi Trucks Band, which is not somebody I would normally go see, but Blackberry Smoke opened, which were
that's cool.
Freaking incredible. They literally, on each side of the stage, hanging from the stage, there were about 7 speakers. That's it.
Wow.
That's all the speakers they had. And the sound was phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. Pictures of that place look
phenomenal.
Beautiful.
So I'm going back sometime when there's a band there that I really want to see because I couldn't stay for Tedeschi. I mean, we stayed for about 6 songs. That was about all I could handle just because it's not that it's just not my kind of music. Every song is a guitar solo for like 4 minutes and Derek Trucks can freaking play. There's no question about it. And I totally appreciate the musicianship. It's just not my thing. But it was an incredible night. It truly was. The weather was beautiful. It was cloudy a little bit, but seeing those Red Rocks at night at that venue, man, it was special. It really was special.
I will go back. Was the smell of legal substances in the air?
I don't know. Well, they are legal. It is legal there, but not legal in public. So
Bill,
people be
really.
Bill, I told my work wife that you saw Blackberry Smoke at Red Rocks, and she just was so jealous.
Oh, they were. I tell you, they were. I've got a couple there, like one of their CD or one of their. I've downloaded one of their albums. They were really, really good, and they did. What's the Tom Petty song I told you they did?
I have no idea.
I don't remember. You got lucky.
You got lucky. Yeah, You Got Lucky by Tom Petty. They did an acoustic version. It was really, really good.
But I always get them and that Blackstone Cherry mixed up. I always mix up.
And
because they're similar a little bit.
Yep, they are definitely. But yeah, I'm telling you, if you guys, I'm going to find a show to go to that I can just go to the show and see the whole show and then come home, because you can fly out to Denver on Frontier for $200.
Right.
Go to the show and then come home the next day and be good. And it was phenomenal. And Kiss has played there. So I put a thing out on kissarmy.com. Help me find a video. I want to see a video of Kiss playing there. That had to be, I'd like to see what the show looked like, because they can't do they couldn't do like like a normal big show. I don't think it would have to be stripped down somewhat. It'd be interesting to see what the sound is like too, because it was crazy.
Yeah, I had an interview with Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. They were on one of these tours where they're always, the supporting act, and I'm drawing a blank now, but the headline act couldn't go on for some reason. So Cheap Trick played for like 2.5 hours on that stage, and he was overjoyed to play there to begin with. And then he said, to be able to play that long was awesome.
That's cool. Cheap Trick never plays long enough anyway.
I know.
Pisses me off. I love those guys. All right. Bill, you got any more stuff?
Isn't that enough?
Yeah. Peter's got some stuff.
I wore my Paul Stanley shoes with my suit because I thought it'd be kind of cool, and I had about 300 people come up to me and say, "Dude, those are the coolest shoes I've ever seen."
But are you getting the fanny pack? That's my question.
I'm not buying freaking no shit. No.
He's got a fanny pack coming out.
He does now. I see. That ain't gonna happen.
Jeez.
I think he give it another name though. He won't call it a fanny pack.
It's the Paul pack. Anyway, Peter, what you got, brother?
Well, we were just recently on vacation. We go to Lake George in New York in the Adirondack Mountains, and I'm a big vinyl guy. Both Vinny and myself are big vinyl guys. I have all the vinyl that I ever owned from when I was a kid, starting from like the 6th grade. But I never had the first 2 Cinderella albums on vinyl. I had them on CD because they came out right around the time where I was starting to bail on vinyl and buying CD. And there's this really cool little town a little north of Lake George called Bolton Landing. It's just like, you blink and you're through the thing, but there's this one dude that's got an old barn, and he's got great collectibles in there. And he had copies of both.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, that's
Old
nice.
Winter and the first one. And I've never had them on vinyl. And he wanted 15 a piece. I talked him down to 10 a piece. That one had a little water damage on it, but man, just great stuff. I don't think there's a bad tune on either one of those albums. Love that. Love those first.
Great.
Well, that's good, man. That's cool. Where was that at again? So I can, when I'm going to
Bolton Land, just north of Lake George, New York, and it's just there's a house out front, and then there's this barn out back, and he's got like popular mechanics magazines from a gazillion years ago and sports collective and like thousands of things just jammed in there, and he's got a great vinyl collection and a reasonable price too.
Huh. Wow.
I've never found Long Cold Winter. I'm like, okay, I have to get it. It's the first time.
$10 is reasonable too.
Yeah, it's got a little water damage on the one corner, but man, the record sounds great. There's not a scratch on it. So
that's what means something. All right. Got any more records, Peter?
Well, I tell you what, I've been listening to a ton lately. You guys into Stars at all? I've been listening to the first Stars album.
I have one album. I don't know what it's.
Yeah, I've only listened to some of it occasionally.
Yeah, I was never into them in the day, but after Rockin' Pod last year, I'm like, these guys seem pretty cool. I'll go pick a few things up, and it's not bad. And it's Bill Aucoin was their manager. Right. And it was actually produced by Jack Douglas, who did, Cheap Trick, Aerosmith. It's not bad. It's pretty, straight ahead Detroit rock and roll. And I have listened to Alice Cooper.
That's nice.
Literally 40 times in the last 3 weeks. I'm getting ready to go see him next week here in Rochester, New York.
Oh, yeah.
And man, dude, everything that I wish Kiss would have done, Alice Cooper is doing. Deep dive into the catalog. He's doing like 6-7 cuts he hasn't done in forever. Some he's never played, and I can't freaking wait. It's going to be great. I think this is quite possibly becoming my favorite Alice Cooper album.
I truly hope that the set list stays the same.
Me too.
Knock on wood. It has.
There's a Constrictor and a Raise Your Fist and Yell song in the set list right now.
Yeah,
those are two of my favorites.
Well, Alan and I are both going in November, the day before Thanksgiving. So I'm hoping that
I'll give you the full report because I'm going 2 days before Rockin' Pod. So
okay, cool, awesome.
All right, Peter. My first concert was Kiss in 1978 in January. Guess what the second one was?
Alice Cooper
Inside Out tour.
There you go. Oh man, awesome. Right. Jealous, very jealous.
So I picked up a little bit of vinyl this week. I actually went to the north side. Our listener and good friend Miss Provo, she's going to love what I picked up this week. I got Saga's World Apart, which has On the Loose.
A great album.
Which actually is on the Giver album for Took. That's one good song on there. So I picked that up. I got that for $5.
Actually, that whole album is great.
Yeah,
Wind Me Up is
record.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Exactly. So I bought some before, but I finally found this April Wine First Glance, which has Roller, which is another song off the Took Giver album.
Yeah.
Anyway, this isn't really. I got that for $3.
Good Canadian boys, right? April Wine, I think.
Here we go. And then I found this one too.
Yeah, I have that.
Nature of the Beast, and this one here is like mint condition, $4, and it's got some great tunes on there. So that's probably one of my favorite April Wine albums.
I think they're still touring, and they actually. I'm just from a town just outside of Buffalo, New York, so we're close to the Canadian border, and I think they play quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd love to see those guys. We were actually just talking about that the other day, wondering if they were still out and about. This record has been at this flea market, my Trader Baker place, at this one thing for 3 weeks, and I finally just broke down and bought it. But I got Rush Signals for $15, but I'm telling you what, it's brand. It looks like brand new. So that's my Rush. That's my Canadian thing. I bought
a lot of Canadian stuff, man. You're like get a Canadian tour there going.
Yeah, you hoser.
I bought this for $4.
I've almost bought that a couple of times.
Well, I bought it. You know what?
I love it.
You know what? I don't have any Boy George, and I'm like going Karma Chameleon, Church of the Poison Mine. You know what? And it's $4.
Great, dude.
So it's got the original rap on it, man. It's pretty good.
Well, it's this girl that we buy when I buy this stuff at. Oh, this does have the original rap though.
Yeah, it does. Did you know?
Wow.
Yeah, every record comes with a Grammy Award winning.
I love Culture Club. If you say you don't like Culture Club, you're lying. Come on.
I agree with you.
I do. And I did get Jackson Browne, The Pretender. I picked that up. That's a pretty decent. I got that for $3, and it looks like brand new. Now here's the one that I got too.
It's kind of funny. Jackson Browne records you can find. They're just like thousands.
I know. It's
Linda Ronstadt is the one around here. Linda Ronstadt is
there's a lot of that too.
This much of a stack everywhere you go. There's Linda Ronstadt.
She's that stacked. I've seen her.
No,
she's not that stacked. Well,
she was back in the day.
Judas Priest, Sin After Sin.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah,
That's
boy.
$13, but it is like brand fucking new, and it's got Sinner and Diamonds and Rust, and I'm just happy as a fucking pea. I love that shit. So anyway.
Happy as a
Dennis, I gotta say, every one of your picks, awesome. All of them are great.
And it wasn't one. It was a good week for record shopping.
Peter, he's a junkie, so his wife's gonna get him into rehab because he's spending
I go, Kelly, I'm gonna go for
vinyl every week.
I said, I'm going to Trader Pickers, and I'm gonna buy that Rush album. She goes, I don't care, buy whatever you want. And I come back and go, I got that Rush album and a Judas Priest album,
and this and that.
Anyway, so
good stuff.
So anyway, and then on Facebook, I don't know if you've noticed this. They've got this. There's been an ad for a movie called Here We Go Again. Have you guys seen that on Facebook?
No.
All right. It's been on my feed, and I finally broke down and I bought this. It's a documentary, and it's actually it's worth watching. And I've contacted the guy this is about, and I'm trying to have him on the show. And of course, they sent me a thing here. Kyle sent me a thing, but they sent me an autographed. Here you go again, little poster card, and then sent me a little sticker, and then here's this 15% off on their merch. But the movie is basically, it reminds me a lot.
I will not be on your show, but here's a coupon. Buy some stuff from me.
I talked to him after I watched the movie. I wanted to see what the movie was about. Originally, the way I looked at it on Facebook, it looked like a documentary about 80s music, because it has all these people on here talking, members of Tesla, Anthrax, Queensryche, Warrant, Vixen, L.A. Guns, Enough's Enough, Stryper, Motley Crue, Alice Cooper, Kicks, Quiet, and it's got all these people on here. Ron Keel's on here for a long time. It's not about those bands. It's about these two guys who was in a band back in the 80s, and they never got any farther than club level in Florida. I mean, they never got signed and whatever.
Oh, it's America's version of the Anvil story.
That's what I just said. And then what happened is these two guys going, you know what? We need to get the band back together and record an album. So they go back to all the other old guys, and they're like, the other guys that were in the band, they're like, oh, fuck you. We're not going to do this shit. So it's about these two guys basically writing music. And they had talked to Ron. Ron Keel loves that story. They had interviewed him, so he told them that he would produce their first album if they could write the material. So he writes the material. They go out to Utah and record this with Ron Keel, and they record this. And it's actually there's one scene in there where he gets in an argument with Ron Keel in the studio, and Ron reams this dude's ass out.
I read about this. I did see that.
That segment alone is worth watching this movie. But this movie, it's got 2 discs, and it's actually got 5 hours of extras of just these people talking. And what they do is they ask people from from Queensryche. It's like, this was the name of our band. Should we use this band name? And he's like going, no. What's the chances of us making a big very slim,
Yeah, a bunch of those guys try and talk him out of it. I think I did see it.
It is. This is a very like you said, this is the America's version of the
Anvil. Yeah.
And so anyway,
how is their material? Are their songs decent?
They're not bad. Actually, it's not bad. And he actually, Ron played on some of it and sang. And they had this real good drummer come in to help them out, and they wanted to get a gig, and they actually played on one of the Metal Cruises, one of the deals. They played with Ron and them on stage and stuff. But
is it better than Chinese Democracy?
Oh my God, yes. So anyway,
Ron would be. Are those guys very big? Because Ron's pretty. He's a tall guy. He can be. I would imagine if you got him in the studio and ticked him off, he could be a little aggressive.
Oh, yeah. He is, and like I said, it's just fun. I watched it. Like I said, the day that I actually got it in the mail, the day that I had my wisdom teeth cut out. So I was sitting here miserable, and I thought, I'm going to just watch this to maybe try to make me happy. And I did. It was like kind of brought me out. It took me, give me 2 hours to just kind of not think about my mouth hurting like a motherfucker. Plus, I took some pain pills. And so
I was going to say, plus he was on Carvacet or whatever. So he was like high dose. The movie is good, is what he's saying. He has no idea. Not sure.
Anyway, it is good.
I put a movie in and turned it on. I don't know anything.
All right. So that's all I got as far as that's concerned.
Wow. We're like halfway through his show. We haven't even got to the topic yet. Oh. And Alan has no idea that nobody can hear him.
Yeah. Oh, damn it, I pushed the button
wrong. Awesome. So anyway, we did have a topic for tonight.
We did?
And we asked Peter to give us a topic. Peter, what was our topic?
All right. Well, this is the thing. I mean, if you guys have listened, or if any of your listeners have listened to my podcast, I love the darkness. And obviously, I know that Alan recently, we all know that you're going on the next Kiss cruise, and they were just recently announced as one of the acts. And I'm a huge Darkness guy. I go back to the very beginning in 2003. They're definitely in my top 5 bands of all time. And my co-host doesn't get it, doesn't like them, and we will never talk about it on our show. So I thought, I like when you guys, you guys kind of, pick music for each other to listen to and whatnot. And I thought it'd be fun if I gave you some Darkness tunes to check out, because I don't think I've ever really heard you guys talk about them, and see what you thought. So that's kind of where we're at.
Doesn't want to talk about
it. Well, that could make it even more interesting.
You may get the same reaction you get on your own show.
Oh boy!
What you don't know is in about 3 minutes this thing's gonna go black. Just hang on, man.
So a little background on the Darkness. So do you guys know anything about them?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Not a lot, but a little bit. Yeah.
The dude seems
English band, back from, put out their first album in 2003, Permission to Land. They had 2 ginormous hits off that album. I Believe in a Thing Called Love and Growing on Me. And that album sold just under 1 million copies in the U.S. and sold about 1.5 million in England. Then they started to the lead singer and lead guitar player, Justin Hawkins, got a little crazy with drugs and alcohol and bailed after the second album, and they went away for quite a while, but then they came back. And I personally think their last 2 albums are some of their strongest material, and I've seen them a bunch live. They're just, man, they're so freaking good live. They're very, very entertaining, great players. And what I like about them is I have a real thing for a little bit of campiness and show in my music. I love the Tubes, love the Darkness. I love Iron Maiden for the theatrics and Kiss for the theatrics, and obviously Cheap Trick. They don't really take themselves too serious. A lot of their lyrical content is kind of tongue-in-cheek. And these guys are tongue-in-cheek to the max. So I sent you that message, Dennis, to make sure that when you're listening, it's kind of hard because Justin Hawkins, the lead singer, has a very high voice, falsetto voice. And sometimes it's not easy to understand what he's singing. So right. You can't really appreciate it. It's
not easy to hear it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. My dog laughed the whole time I was.
Man. Oh, boy. But in order to really appreciate them, you got to have the lyrics in front of you because they're extremely clever. But I'll leave it at that. So how do you want to go about this?
It don't matter to me. Like I said, you gave us 18 songs to listen to.
And only 18. That's not bad, right?
Only 18.
It depends on which end of the 18 you're on.
No, like I said, we can just go just like song for song real quick through it and just see what everybody thought and go from there if that's the way you want to do it. So
why don't we tackle the first album, Permission to Land, that came out in 2003. So you guys obviously have heard I Believe in a Thing Called Love and Growing on Me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've actually heard several of these songs. I saw the Darkness at Rocklahoma probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. Good.
So I have seen them in concert once. It's plenty.
I am.
I might be kidding. I might not.
Right.
I think he's seen.
I never know with you.
I think he's seen the Darkness at other Rocklahoma shows too, but it was not a band. It was just like
it was that 50 beers.
When that's when that squirrel got in that transformer, wasn't it, or something that he got blacked out?
That's right.
It was a bird.
Oh, it was a bird. Yeah.
A bird one. That thing called, that is the song that started it all. That's why I went and bought the album after hearing that song. It's a great song. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, that's probably what made people buy it. That's why it was almost $1 million, seller from that song. So
I think when that came out in 2003, there was a real lack of like old style straight ahead rock and roll, because they're very influenced by Thin Lizzy, a lot of the the glam stuff from the 70s, and
they were pushing that 70s look.
Yeah, there was a big void, even the way they dressed the whole bit. And so, do you guys know what "Growing on Me" is about? The song "Growing on Me"?
A tumor?
No idea.
It's not about a girl. It's about head lice. If you look at the lyrics.
I said a tumor, so head lice. That's a good close second.
I think you left off in the instructions. Make sure to review the lyrics.
Yes.
Yeah, that probably would have been helpful.
Because I didn't pick up on that. I was just listening to it for the enjoyment of my ears.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Bill? What do you think of the songs that I suggested off that album?
Oh, I think all three. That actually is the only Darkness album I have. So I am familiar with all of them. So yeah, I think that's a good. I like that record. I like them. I thought my thing with them was, I liked the uniqueness of his voice. But I also think that's probably why it didn't just, it was a niche-y thing, and then it just kind of went away, and it was unfortunate because I think they're a great band. I mean, my gosh, listen to the rest of the stuff. I'm like, shit, I've been missing some stuff here for a while.
Yeah,
so I do like it. There's a couple songs on here, but
I think like a Geddy Lee voice, people either love or hate Rush because of his voice, and I think the same thing here, because it's exactly why like Sonny hates him, Sonny Pooney. And Vinny doesn't like him at all, and it's purely because of the vocals.
And like you said, it probably is, because there's that thing that no matter how much they like the Rush's music, they can't get back. They can't get by Geddy's vocals.
My problem with Rush is not Geddy Lee. It's every song is 15 minutes. It's like, no,
and that's good. It should be 20 minutes,
3.5 to 4, dude. I don't need
Rush. I love Rush.
My attention span's not that long.
So this album here that you picked, these first 3 songs, I like all 3 of them. Probably "Growing on Me" is not my favorite of the bunch. "Friday Night's" very catchy. I like that.
Yeah.
My 2 favorite songs on the album you didn't even mention.
Well, I could have done the whole album. I love, and
my 2 favorite songs is "Black Shuck," of course, and then "Love on the Rocks with No Ice."
Oh, that great. Yeah.
I mean, those tunes there those were my 2 favorite. I was like, when I seen that, I was like going, He didn't even bring those 2 up.
Yeah, and on the last tour, they actually play probably 80% of this album.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, that may be cool. But yeah, it was a solid album. Like I said, when I bought it, it was on my rotation for quite a while. It hasn't been for a while, but that was what I say, 2003 when it came out.
Yeah, 2003.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
And then they put out in 2005, they put out their second album called One Way Ticket to Hell and Back, which is, I even like the title. How can you have a one-way ticket to hell and back? But that song did pretty well for them. But this album didn't do nearly as well as the first album. But
before we get to Hell and Back, let me make my comment about this album.
Yeah.
The only comment that I really had was that the song "Friday Night" reminds me of that song by The Cure, "Saturday I'm in Love," or Friday.
Yeah.
That was very Cure. It was a very Cure sounding song to me.
Yeah. Maybe I'm pronounced. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's kind of going to be a theme like that with a couple of the other songs that I mentioned. So be warned.
Yeah. So these, the band is mainly the lead people in the band are Justin Hawkins and his brother Dan. Dan plays rhythm and some lead, and Justin sings and does most of the lead. But when they put out the second album, their bass player had actually left, and I believe it was either like the bass tech or the guitar tech ended up being the bass player on this album and tour. And I think this is the album that Darkness fans like the least. And I think almost every song on it is fantastic. I mean, I think the sound of I like the production on this album better than the production on the first album.
Right. I didn't buy it, like I said, and it was one of those things. Now, how many of these songs were on this? I forgot to make my mark on which songs came on this. The next 4, 5, 6, 7, was that all on the same album?
There's one way ticket, English Country Garden, and Knockers.
That's on that album? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy this album because whenever, and this goes with Bill's thing. I think that One Way Ticket is a weak intro song for a beginning song on an album, and like Bill's the same way. If that first song doesn't hit you, usually it's like
there's better ones on the album for sure. I totally agree.
Yeah. The English Country Garden, that is so fucking Queen. It's not even funny. I mean, I could see Freddie playing that. I mean, that could be either a Freddie Mercury solo album song or it could have been a Queen album.
Well, my note on that song was that it had the Queen guitar sound and it had a lot of ELO sound to it as well.
Very much. Two big influences on them for sure.
And you notice that ELO, Queen, and The Cure are all also English bands.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then, was it Knockers? That's
a song about the cover for Music from the Elder.
Actually, on that tour, they had giant inflatable breasts that he came out on stage on.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth like going.
That'd have been worth.
Why didn't I do that? So, but no, Knockers. Oh, I would think that right there has a hot space Queen kind of that first guitar lick as you come in. That's kind of an older, more modern Queen kind of progression.
Older, more modern Queen type progression.
Peter's.
I know somebody.
He knows what I mean.
I get what he's saying.
But it was like on hot space. That kind of was.
It's a classic Brian May riff, but with that kind of hot space production.
There you go. Thank you very much. See, I need Peter just to be with me on my side where he can go. You know what I'm talking about. You explain it.
He just doesn't want to be cut out of the video.
He's like that character on Saturday Night Live, the interpreter that shouts out.
Yeah, exactly. What was it I meant? He meant hot space guitar. Anyway, all right.
Okay, so
you know where I'm going.
Yeah, oddly enough for me, One Way Ticket was okay. Again, that's my thing. It was like I would have probably not lasted through the record, because I would have got to that song and went, meh. English Country Garden, I listened to the whole song. Okay, and then it's like I could not. I didn't. When it was over, I was like, "Thank you."
Hey, at least you got that. At least you got that. He made it halfway through my Harry Nilsson song.
Oh yeah, that song, I was like, "This is just shit." So
I listened to that,
but I would not listen. I would not go back and actually, I went back and listened to him again today and skipped that song because I was like, I'm not even wasting.
I got more homework for you then, Bill. Go listen to the whole album.
But I'll read the lyrics and maybe I'll understand. I just didn't. And Knockers, I like that song. I thought that was pretty good. But the other two, one was and the other, and English Country Garden was like, oh geez.
I just think that One Way Ticket's a very weak song for an opening song on an album. Because like I said, that first song better fucking grab you by the balls and make it swing, and it just didn't for me.
Yeah, so. I wouldn't have chosen that for the first single, which they did, but it's also an autobiographical song. If you notice at the beginning, do you hear the
right?
So it's about his, spiraling into his cocaine habit.
Gotcha.
We hear Dennis do that every week.
Interesting. Mine was called a cyst, and I got rid of it when I had my wisdom tooth surgery. So you do no more squeaking, no more squeaking. The surgeon told me it was the biggest cyst he's ever had to deal with in a.
He tells all the guys that, Dennis. He didn't want you to feel inadedeate.
And my pants were real loose too afterwards. I don't know.
Hey now,
I'm surprised you didn't wear it.
Yeah, I come in there and it's like going, no, sir, you don't have to take your clothes off for this. It's tooth surgery.
So the third album, they took a big break here. So they took a 7-year break, and a lot of stuff was going on at this point. Justin had left the band. He started his own band. The remaining members started another band, and they obviously at one point he got himself cleaned up, and they came to the conclusion that they're obviously much more successful together than apart. And they made their amends, the two brothers, and put out Hotcakes. Now, this album was the last album to then feature, the four original guys. And this one was probably their least successful album. As a matter of fact, I didn't even really know this thing came out. I just kind of stumbled upon it. I don't think they really had a single. They had a couple videos that were kind of cool. All their videos are really cool. But so Every Inch of You, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us, and Everybody Have a Good Time. There's kind of a reoccurring theme of that. Hey, we're back. We're just gonna have fun, and this is this is a party album. So what do you guys think of these tunes?
Let me go ahead and get my little thing in there. That's what she said. As soon as I started,
fun
as soon
as I started saying that, I was like, "Oh, I gotta cut them off."
Suck all the fun out of shit.
That's right. So the song "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us" reminded me of "Don't Stop Me Now" by Queen.
Yep.
So, and that's all I got to say about that album.
Yep. Alan, you are very astute because and this is very intentional, I believe, on their part, because Freddie Mercury is one of Justin's biggest influences.
I would think so, with his voice the way it is. I like this. I liked it. I like the cover better.
Oh yeah, it's a great. The
record, but I like the cover of the album, which is pretty cool. But no, I thought all three songs were good. I would listen to the rest of it for sure.
Yeah, the whole album's really good.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it was kind of fun. It was just kind of a fun record.
Yeah, Every Inch of You. I agree with Alan as far as when it gets into the chorus, it's very Queen-like, but when it first starts out, that's an AC/DC lick.
Oh yeah,
that's different song, Dennis.
Scott, huh?
Different song. I was talking about "Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now."
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant Every Inch of You.
No.
Oh no, okay, I got that. Sorry.
You got to stop thinking about Alan's private parts.
Yeah, I got
music podcast.
Anyway. So anyway, that one does have an AC/DC like intro to it. Now nothing's gonna go. I can't read my writings. Nothing.
Everybody. No.
So that one there actually, there are parts of that song that is very Foo Fighters as far as the guitar licks in that song. There's I was trying to find it real quick and I couldn't figure it out, but it's almost the same lick as a Foo Fighter song, which this album was put out when?
This was put out in 2012.
So yeah, it would have probably been been after the Foo, because that would have been one of the earlier ones. But anyway, I had a little bit of Foo to it, and then everyone have a good time. I can't even read my own writing. I love the chorus in that.
I agree with you about the AC/DC riff. I caught that as well.
Yeah. But no, that Good Time one, I liked the chorus in that song. I thought that was really, it sounded a little bit different. I liked it. So
the thing I like about The Darkness is it's impossible to be in a bad mood when you're listening to their music. I mean, it's definitely uplifting. It's great driving music. You turn it up to 12 in the car, and it's put the windows down. It's really good time, good feeling music.
Right.
And I like that they don't take themselves too seriously. There's nothing worse than a band that takes themselves too seriously. You too.
What are you trying to say?
Yeah. So
maybe this isn't worth as much as I thought it was.
The fourth album, Last of Our Kind, came out in 2015. Now, what was weird about this is their drummer of a long time, Ed Graham, had left, and they actually have a female drummer on this album. Her name was Emily Davies, I believe, but they made the album with her, but she didn't stick around for the tour. They had gotten rid of her before they went on the tour, and their drummer that they picked up, who's still in the band, is none other than Rufus Taylor, who has a very famous father. Who is his famous father?
Roger
Taylor, yeah. So there's the Queen relate again. So they actually got a member of the Queen family in the band now, and he's still in the band. So I love this album. This album topped. It was really, really hard for me to pick just 3 songs off this album, because this, I think, is their most diverse. There's a whole bunch of different styles on this album, which I think the 3 tunes kind of illustrate that. They go from very heavy to Last of Our Kind, which is very radio friendly, I think, to Barbarian, which is just, an all out assault.
Before we move any further, the girl that you said was the drummer, said her last name was Davies. Do you know if she was related to the Kinks guys?
Yeah, Ray Davies.
You know what? No idea. I don't know. I'll have to look on the old Google and figure that out.
Get on the Google.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. There's a lot of that going on.
Well, especially with it being another British band.
Sure. Yeah. And I don't know exactly why she exited or why they gave her the boot. It wasn't her decision. I know that. So maybe they just figured live she wasn't going to cut it.
I thought it was good. I liked the 3 songs for sure. I watched Barbarian on the video.
Yeah, it's a great.
So actually, I watched videos of a lot of them actually. And you're right. I think the videos are pretty cool. But that was a cool video because it was more of a cartoon kind of thing, kind of a sketch drawing thing. It was really pretty cool. But the music was really good. And like you said, that's a lot more aggressive than the other 2 songs on there too.
Sure.
So but yeah, I like that. I liked all 3 of those for sure.
Yeah, I think Open Fire is just about one of their hardest rocking tunes for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was just good. I mean, it's just good rock music.
Yeah, I mean the guys can play. There's no there's no bones about it.
Yep.
What'd you think, Dennis?
Last of Our Kind. I yawned.
Really?
I really didn't like that song at all. That was one I really didn't like. I had to not like something on this thing. But anyway, Open Fire, it's got such an 80s sound, and I'm thinking it's not the Cult. Does the Cult have a song that sounded like that?
It's very cult, dude. It's very cult.
Because I wrote down here Cult with a question mark.
I
used to play BMX Dave Mirra video game, and that song was on there, and I don't remember what the song was. But as soon as that guitar lick started to begin, I'm going, that's fucking 80s. That's
Billy Duffy, damn it.
Yeah, and a very Ian Astbury vocal. Yeah, it's very cultish. Absolutely.
So now I'm totally disappointed because they lost their British influence.
But then that one there was just like going, holy shit! You just mirrored that. And then Barbarian, I just love the guitar work in that, and that song's got some really cool guitar chording that's really cool. And it's different. The guitar work in that song is different than a lot of their other stuff.
Yeah, what I like about them too is when you go see them live, and Alan, you're obviously going to see this again, is the brother. You're not going to go check them out on the cruise? You're crazy.
I have to see what's going on.
Yeah,
because if they've got more than one band playing at the same time, I have to figure out which one I want to see the most.
But I like how both brothers play leads, and Justin will be most of the time. Justin will be singing lead vocals, and the guitar tech will just come out and throw the guitar on him so he can play the lead. Then he takes it off and throws it back to the tech, sort of thing.
That's
both very talented for sure. Now I want to talk a little bit on this tour. You guys have talked about it a ton. We've talked about it a ton. A lot of the other podcasts, how like meet and greets and the prices of meet and greets and things. Their meet and greet is amazing. On this tour for $75, you got a shirt. You got in to watch the sound check, you got a 30-minute question and answer. And then on the very last tour, what they added is you actually go up on stage with them and they go through all their gear, rig by rig, of what they use and what the settings are and everything. And it was, for $75, you literally almost spent like an hour and a half with them before the show. What band, does that for $75? You get a $40 T-shirt that you're going to pay $40 for anyway as part of that.
Or if it was Kiss, it'd be a $70 T-shirt, and you'd already be in a
you're already in the hole for $6,000.
Super magnanimous with their fans, and it's real
cool.
value.
I like that. That's kind of cool. That's awesome.
Especially like for music guys like you two who play. I
love looking at rigs. I have a friend of mine, Kevin Book, who's been on the show. Every time he does one of these setups, he just did Pat Benatar
backline for a lot of national acts that come through here.
Oh, cool!
Yeah. So he was setting up and stuff for Pat Benatar, and this guitar rig was just fucking unreal and just weird how he had it set up. He's taking pictures of it all day and then putting it on Facebook and sending me pictures like, holy shit, So I love seeing stuff. Yeah, I'm a fucking
Yeah, and it was we were under the impression that it was supposed to be their techs doing most of it, but they all sat there and chimed in and everything. And like at one point they're going over Justin's rig, and he was as part of his show preparation, because his vocals are really hard to sing. They're really up there. It's a very strenuous vocal delivery, and he was on his aspirator and showing what he does for his warm-ups. And man, to me, that's super cool stuff that I love to see.
Yeah, it's good behind the scenes kind of stuff that you need to see.
Yeah. One of the coolest things I've ever seen, Peter, is we went to see Great White. I don't remember when it was, but we had we got to go on the bus. So the person I went with knew Jack Russell. It was actually Jack Russell's wife's grandmother. Mm-hmm. So we had went here in Indianapolis, and he took us on the bus, and we sat there and we watched him do his vocal warm-ups and stuff before the show, which was really cool. I mean, we're sitting on the bus with them, and he's like, okay, I got to do these warm-ups if you guys don't mind. And I sat there and I'm like, this is cool as shit. I mean, it was like,
you're seeing
you have no idea.
Yeah, that's the other two cool.
Yeah, the other two people are like, I don't know what the big deal is. Like,
no, and if it had been...
No, you don't
been 20 years.
Really cool.
If it had been 20 years later, you've been going with your phone going.
Oh, I would have. I'd have been all over that, man.
Fucking filming it.
He was really cool about it. He's just like, I got to get this done, and you know, I love hanging out with you guys, but I got to get this done. Can I, you know? And it was like, because he said he did like two sets. So he did a set like an hour and a half before the show, which is what we saw, and then he does another set about 30 minutes before the show, and then he usually doesn't talk much after he does the second set. But it really kind of gets him warmed up, and then he drinks some tea, you know, like other kind of stuff. But he has a regimen, and you have to have a regimen. I mean, you guys can't. I mean, those guys can't do that every night. I mean, Paul has a regimen. I mean, even as rough as he's being now, I mean, he still has a regimen. He doesn't talk to people a lot. I've read that more and more and more. That you know, he
spends 45 minutes before he sings selling fanny packs and tennis shoes.
That's right. But can you imagine, seriously, I love Kiss as much as the next guy, but can you imagine what they would charge for the experience that I got with the Darkness? I mean, I have to get
$5,000, and then you have to buy your ticket.
A lot of zeros. A lot of zeros.
You didn't even get anywhere close to that for the $6,000 thing. Yeah. Go up on stage, but you didn't get to talk to anybody. You got to see the Serpent. You got to stand and hold. I guess you get to hold a guitar, but you know, still, that's a ton of money, man. Yeah. I don't have that kind of money.
So I like to support these bands that are still reasonable price to see and still are interested in keeping their fans happy.
Yeah, I agree. That's cool.
All right.
So their last album, the last studio album, which just came out in 2015 which came out in 2017 called Pinewood Smile. Now, I think this is my favorite Darkness album to date. Again, it was super hard for me to pick, you know, even 2 or 3 off this album. And did you guys happen to? So I put Happiness on here, and I didn't realize that it's only on the bonus edition. So I don't know if you got a chance to listen to that.
Spotify has it.
You got it? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
How about the intro? Did you hear the little intro they put in there?
Yes.
Where the kid goes, "Dad, I think I shit myself." Go get in water, clean that shit off you. And they're always putting little goofy shit like that in the tunes, and I love this album. I think the production is really good. I love the lyrics in Solid Gold. There's a man coming down from Sony, from Artists and Repertoire. If he likes what he hears in his stupid ears, I'm gonna buy myself a faster car. And the lyrics are just really super clever.
That is cool.
What'd you guys think about this album?
Let's go first.
Well, the phrase "I shit solid gold" was kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
I actually had to stop, and I'm like, did I hear what I think I just heard?
Yeah, no kidding.
I think "Why Don't the Beautiful Cry" is a really good song. That's probably the best for me. That was the best of the, what is there, 4 there? 5? 4? Yeah. 5, yeah. That's for me, that was the best of the 5.
I love that tune. That's about Kim Kardashian, by the way.
Yeah, whatever. I think it's a good song. Happiness was okay. I mean, I liked the intro. I thought the intro was interesting, but it was okay. But I really liked All the Pretty Girls and Solid Gold and Stampede of Love. I thought those were pretty good. But Happiness, just, I don't know. There's something about it just didn't grab me. But I like the other 4 pretty well.
All right.
I had
All the Pretty Girls is very punky. It's one of their. It's almost kind of Green Day-ish, kind of that punky, kind of modern punk. Is what
it's
I'm
very staccato for them. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. So it was kind of interesting to hear something different. Solid Gold. It's another one of those 80s. Got an 80s lick to it as far as the guitar part. I just think it's got a solid 80s. Why do the was it something crying? Beautiful cry.
Why don't the beautiful?
I did. I have retard shorthand, so it's like I'm trying to read my own part. So anyway, Cry. I got the end, so I know what Cry is. Okay, very 70s, and I just say like with a exclamation point. I love that song.
Isn't the guitar sound in that song?
Guitar sound is so. When it first starts, it is so 70s. and it's kind of almost yacht rock kind of.
Dennis, this is frightening because I had yacht rock written down because
obviously you better write it down because can't either one of you pronounce it.
No shit, I can't say it. I better write it down.
I can't read it if I wrote it, and then you can't say it.
That phase came back around 2017. Everybody was getting back into the Ambrosias, the Players, the Little River Band. Yacht rock was a big thing, and I think I think this was a concerted effort. But I got a Stampede of Love. Now, come on, guys, this lyric. So, you walked in and the ground shook. I can't believe how much food you took. You looked at me with those hungry eyes, but you were just eyeing up my fries. Come on, it doesn't get any better.
That's all.
Right?
That's a song.
That is the Darkness's equivalent of Jim putting his log in someone's fireplace.
How about Solid Gold here? Come on, this is a great one. He wants to wine and dine us. He's desperate to sign us because we melted his fucking face. Come on, that's a great lyric. That's great.
Isn't that off an album? Do you have the LP?
Yeah, I got them all on vinyl.
So getting back to real quick, my last two songs here, like I said, that the Cry song, I loved that. Like I said, that one there is probably my favorite off this last bunch that we've had. Happiness, another yawn. I just don't like that song. It just doesn't hit me. I mean, it's nothing wrong or right. It's whatever. Stampede, Blackbird, duh. That song is basically ripped off of the Beatles' Blackbird. And the guitar lick and even the vocal parts almost go. You can almost sing that song along with it.
The phrasing's very
familiar. Yeah. But is it bad? No. But it's just. I mean, it is very. That's the thing that hit me about that song. It's like going, well, shit.
Like Paul Stanley says, if you're going to steal a diamond.
There you go. So anyway, there's only so many notes, and they're going to get copied.
Well, that's the thing. Is there really any original ideas left to music? I mean, everybody's rehashing everything.
Exactly. So at least everything sounds like something.
Yeah, at least that they're not shy about it. They definitely won't deny it. That's for sure.
But no, it was some really cool because there was a lot of songs on here that I hadn't heard. Because like I said, I had the first album, and after when second came out, I wasn't interested, and I just kind of was one of those bands that kind of fell to the wayside. So once again, this show open more, maybe go back and listen to some catalog that I hadn't heard before, which is always fun.
I would ask you to maybe go and listen to maybe the whole albums because again, for me, I'm such a diehard geek fan about them. It was hard for me even to put 18 down on paper because I love the vast majority of them. But you guys may find stuff on the albums, the deeper cuts that you like more than the ones I put on here for sure. That's the beauty of music, man. You
didn't put my two favorite songs on the first album, so right there, I know it's like, what did I miss on these other albums? Yeah, I will definitely go back and at some point listen to these.
Well, you've already given me more time talking about the Darkness than I will ever have on my own podcast. So I love that. So.
You go back and tell your buddies like,
speaking of your podcast,
sit back, relax, hit the record button, and we'll wake you up when it's over.
Listen to this show 5 times now, Vinny. You're gonna have to listen.
But it's like you guys do. There's like when we sit down and go over like what topics we want to do. There's like I'll go, oh, Vinny, I know nothing about that band. I can't stand. I mean, that's the beauty of music. I mean, everybody likes different things.
Is interesting. I actually met a guy at the meeting I was at that said that he's not a music guy. He doesn't ever listen to music. He doesn't have his radio on. If it's on, it's on talk radio. He is not into music at all.
I don't get
and
that,
I'm
man.
like, so the theme party on Wednesday night was Rockin' in the Rockies. So everybody came dressed up in 80s rock stuff. He comes dressed up as Axl Rose, which did a really good job. He's got tattoos all over him and stuff like that. It was really funny. And he's out there, and I'm like, hey, because they were playing some 80s, 80s dance stuff too. So people are out there just kind of dancing. I'm like, you're dancing, and I'm going to call your wife.
See, there you go.
Was there any alcohol involved in that, though?
There's a lot of alcohol involved.
I can't stand Axl Rose's voice. I literally can't.
I am
nails on a chalkboard to me.
But you know what, though, Bill? I can understand that, though, because, as much, I really can't understand somebody not liking music. But there again, I'm not a sports guy. I could give a shit less. If all sports stopped tomorrow, I'd be like, and? Okay, well, I don't have to watch that shit on TV. Maybe my cable will be a little bit cheaper because I won't have 18 channels of ESPN that I want to pay for. Shit. But no, I can see that.
We need to start a guitar channel.
We do. We need to do that.
So. No, I'd say we.
Peter, real quick too, before we get off of this, you went and seen the Struts the other night.
Oh,
were you impressed?
Man.
You impressed?
Everybody, I heard Eddie Trunk a lot talking about how they're the future of rock and this, that, and the other thing. And I got to be totally honest with you. I didn't know too much about them. I tried to, what I do before concerts, I go on setlist.fm and I try and create that playlist so I can at least get somewhat familiar with the songs. And I'm like on record in studio, I'm like, yeah, nothing's really grabbing me. I was blown away live. What a show. Those guys are, again, he's the modern day Freddie Mercury.
Exactly.
I mean, looks like him, sounds like him, the outfits, high energy from start to finish. It's, you guys can relate. We're usually going to shows. We're all kind of the same age of bands that are, a lot of the venues are filled with guys our age or gals our age. There was probably 8,000 to 10,000 people there. I was one of the oldest people there. All these young girls knew every word to every song. The crowd was as much fun to watch as the band. I mean, I was blown away. I am now a Struts fan.
I saw them open up and I was so happy when we were actually going to see Foo Fighters in Lexington, and they canceled that night. Bill and myself and our wives were up there in Lexington. They got canceled the day of. Dave had an emergency, and they just canceled it. So we ate a $200 hotel room. Had a shitty fucking night out in the town. Lexington sucks, balls. I just want to let you know. But anyway, we went to Nashville later on, and the Struts were with them at that point, wasn't it, Bill? When they opened it up? That.
Yep.
So when they came back to Nashville, I was hoping that Struts would still be there, and they were. And I'll tell you what, I went in there. I was kind of a fan of their music, but I came out a huge fan of their music. And the really good part of it is Foo Fighters. At that one point they've been doing Under Pressure, and because Taylor is big into that. But they brought the guy from the Struts out, and he sang it, dude. And I'm telling you what, like you said, it gave me a chill.
Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube.
It's like version. Freddie Mercury all over. I mean, it's just he's got the look, he's got the sound, he's got the act of it. His everything about him. And like I said, and it's another one of those kind of darkness things. It's a 70s. They have a 70s look, a 70s vibe to them, and it brings back a lot of memories.
Even their stage set on this headlining tour kind of looks like, like the old dance shows they used to have, American Bandstand and stuff. It's purposely made to look like that with that retro lighting and those purples and those pinks, and just everything was done so well. Really, really good.
So I hope they continue to make some really cool albums and go from there. So
I hope the next album, though, I hope they can kind of capture that live feel, because I think kind of like Kiss's problem on their first three albums, I don't think that you can't really appreciate how good they are until you hear them live.
Exactly. All right.
It was interesting. We went to see that. We went to see Ace in Nashville. The band that opened was like the Georgia Peaches or Georgia something or others. I don't remember what they're called. I bought the CD because live they were really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the CD thinking, I wonder if they can get this onto a record. The answer is no.
Yeah, it's a bummer when that happens.
Yeah,
but it was really, but live they were great, and I'm like, man, this is going to be great. And I put it in. I'm like, I had my son with me, and he's like, is that the same band? And I'm like, yeah, that's the same band.
It's like,
by the way,
they were good live. They were good live.
There was a nice empty seat next to me in the front row.
Shut up.
All right,
dude.
Hey, Peter, I tell you what, we're going to be seeing your funky face.
Yes.
Next week, or actually 2 weeks from, or a week from this Friday, actually.
Did you mean extremely handsome face?
Extremely handsome. We love you. You know that. We're just giving you shit. But we will be seeing you the Friday after next, and we'll be playing on stage with you, doing some little bit of room service, all three of us, actually, on the Saturday night. But before we get out of here, once again, go through your
show. That's going to be awesome.
Your show stuff.
Sure.
Give us another plug.
So again, it's the I Love It Loudcast, and we post every 2 weeks. Pretty much it's me and my good friend Vinny Folletti, who's 10 years my younger, talking about everything in the world of rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. Interviews. review albums. A lot of times just shoot the shit unscripted and see what happens. And you can find us on iTunes, kind of like this show, and Spotify and Podchaser. And please, we're trying to get to double digits listeners. No, I'm kidding. So if you like it, share it. We love constructive criticism. What do you want to hear? We'll talk about it. And guys, man, I tell you, sincerely, I love your show. It was really nice. We met briefly last year at Rock and Pod. I can't wait to hang with you this year.
I got to meet him when we were checking into the hotel.
So it's like, I was just kind of.
Did you do that with everybody? We were in the hotel.
Shh.
So I don't know about you guys, but I don't really plan on going to bed. So if you guys want to stay up and we'll do some impromptu shows after 6 or 7 beers. We'll see what happens. But I really look forward to seeing you again. And again, so appreciative of you having me on. I love your show.
Thanks, man. Same back at you. I love your show too. Listening to it, and it's a great show.
It is fun. It's very fun.
For sure.
All right. Stick around, and Alan,
check us out on agesofrock.com. Find our social media there. Check us out on Stitcher Radio. Can't say KGF Rocks. Of course, I haven't said that in a long time anyway. But anyway, till next time, peace out, folks. Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.